Okay, everybody, we are live again,
Trying
and
again.
we have discovered, we have confirmed that my computer is not ideal for running live streams. So, our faithful production coordinator, Kat, is now running the stream, and we're going to give it another shot. So, maybe we can just start right from the beginning. We are live on Kickstarter, running a project to make an animated pilot of Litterbox, and I'm here with Chesca House, the lovely creator of Litterbox Comics.
Hello.
Brien Hart, the director of the Litterbox pilot that was
Lovely director.
hypothetical, but now it's definitely happening. And myself, the producer of the pilot. I take care of all the boring stuff. And here we are. We're live again. It sounds good to me. I mean, last time it was already garbly, so fingers crossed it goes well this time.
How's it
And
sounding to the people out there? Am I less robot-y now?
you sound great to me. I think it was I mean, when we were doing the stream on my computer, it was robot-y right from the start, and it was terrible because you guys were saying such like interesting, great stuff, and it was like all garbled, and it was going out. It was like with my head in my hands, like, oh god, the audience just hears like so. So we will be taking questions from the audience, and yeah, we're just gonna roll with it here. We for those of you that don't know, we blasted past our original goal on the first day, like within 8 hours, and we're just so excited and thankful to all of our wonderful backers, and we're still going. And now it's like, when we put together the budget, it's kind of like, here's what we can make the pilot for. Like, we can definitely do it for the amount of our goal. But above that, we're able to just put more time into every shot. All the artists are able to spend more time. I can drive you guys nuts with meticulous notes that don't matter, and we can do 5 billion voice takes and 5 billion versions of every shot, throw them all out. No, but really, for real, like, we just get to, the more we raise, the higher quality the pilot can be, and Litterbox is such an incredible comic. It deserves an absolutely amazing, top-notch pilot. And so, now, I guess we can just go ahead and start, answering some questions from the audience and see how it goes. Here's one. Actually, we still have some saved here from the last stream, which we don't need to talk about. And the first one here is JC True from Instagram is asking, are we going to see this turn into a full series in the future? What do you guys think? I mean,
well, that would be the hope if we can make that happen, but it's one step at a time.
We've got so many ideas. We definitely have ideas for other episodes. Like, we've got some ones written out and stuff, so it's on the table. But we've got to make this one work first.
Yeah, I mean, when we started working on the pilot script, Chesca, you just immediately sent like 1 billion ideas. So, like, I can attest to the fact that there's no shortage of episode ideas and stories. And personally, I love the dog couple. I'd love to see them. I love the dog family, and I'd love to see them in episodes too and be able to just build out the whole Litterbox universe in animated form.
The Litterverse.
The Litterverse.
To get it right. The Litterverse. Yeah. It's my working name.
But we're going to start with just a pilot. I mean, we thought about, okay, maybe we could make stretch goals that are like, we'll make 2 episodes or more, but I was just kind of like with this live stream, just nervous to like take it. I just want to take it one step at a time. Like, let's just make an absolutely amazing pilot, and then hopefully we can make more. So yeah, we definitely want to see this turn into a full series in the future. No doubt about it. Let's see. Here's another question from Instagram. We've gotten this one a lot. This one's from Whitlovian, _Whitlovian_man. are you going to try a certain direction with the voice? Parentheses, USA versus British. What are we going to do, guys? I mean, everybody's shocked to hear that you're
I
British,
know.
Chesca.
I know every time now I'm getting people being like, "You're British." It's like, you haven't watched my videos. I know you haven't watched my videos. You go watch that Kickstarter video. You're in trouble.
I mean, when we originally started talking about it, I think Chesca, you had the idea in mind that all the voices would be American, but now with all of this astonishment around you being British, and there's it could be on the table that Fran is has a British voice. Maybe we haven't decided yet though, so we're still trying different directions.
Yeah, I like
trying to
that
find
idea
the right
that Ross brought up yesterday or the last stream about saying how if Fran's the only one that speaks with a British accent, it kind of makes an interesting dynamic between her and Joel and the rest of the family. That could be a good source of comedy.
Yeah, it would be fun to get some more Englishisms in there. I play it quite safe with. I guess I've always just thought they were American in the comics because with comics you want to make them relatable. So if you can kind of make her more like a normal American mum, then it's going to be shared more. But in a show, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I could be tempted to go English and actually make her a bit weirder like me.
Yeah, it feels iconic. I mean, it feels iconic to me, and I feel like because we're doing it ourselves and we're crowdfunding it, like we can basically do whatever we want to do. And I think the more we just go with something that feels unique, the better. Like I feel like if we were pitching this, it would be like, "Ooh, British mom, American dad," like people aren't going to get that. That's extremely confusing to the audience. And they'd be like, no, but then if we do it, then like down the road, people are like, oh my God, like, whoa, animated show with British mom, American dad. That was such a brilliant idea. Like, why didn't we think of that, you guys? Like, I don't know. That's kind of how I see it playing out. I love being able to, I love the indie route because we can do, we can just do whatever we want to do, really. Okay. Okay, I've seen this one a lot, and I'm sure you have as well, Chesca. Laylagrams from Instagram is asking, are your actual kids going to be voice acting in the pilot?
Absolutely not. They'd be terrible.
Terrible actors.
Oh no, they'd just be like, oh, I don't want to. My oldest has been like a teenager since he was a toddler, so yeah, I think that would be a difficult one. And then the other one would just do like fart jokes or silly noises or something. So no, absolutely not. Proper actors, please.
When I was in high school, I did this. I tried to make like a movie with my whole family acting in it. It was a total disaster. We all just got so upset at each other. It was unbelievable.
Oh God, yeah.
I'm in full support of I'm working with actors and having family separate.
Yeah, no. God, what a terrible. Makes me nervous just thinking about trying to wrangle the kids into saying the things. No.
Exophiles from Instagram asks, how's the pilot coming along? Well, it's about 1% done. And now we're raising money on Kickstarter so that we can make the whole thing.
Yeah. Basically, well, I guess it was like repeat what I said before, but basically we just have like the preliminary sketches of the characters. I kind of took them and try to translate them to animation, from the comic to animation, and just created a rough storyboard for a couple of shots in the early version of the script. And then we took one of those shots to put it into, gave it to Marty Daniels to do the animation. And just so we can see it all put together. And that shot will be in the pilot. But as far as progress on the actual pilot, that would be as far as we've gotten so far.
We got the script too.
And we've got the script.
Oh yeah, and the script. Sorry, yeah.
But yeah, as far as actually doing any more visuals, that's as far as we've got.
And Santiago from Instagram is asking when the pilot will be available for everyone to watch. first of all, it's going to be available for everyone to watch at the same time, except for the VIP ticket tier, which will get to watch the pilot 3 days early. I believe that's the $25 Curious Cat tier. They'll get to watch it 3 days early. Then it'll debut for everyone else on YouTube that'll get to watch it at the same time. And yeah, we'll be posting on YouTube and going from there. And we posted the pitch video, the Kickstarter video on YouTube. Like, we literally just made a new channel and put the pitch video on there with like nothing. And so many people have watched it already. I'm shocked. It's got like 30,000 views. Like, I didn't even, and all. Have you seen have you guys read the comments on it?
I haven't gone over there. No.
People are so excited.
That's great.
On YouTube. Hold on. I just want to. I gotta. Let me just read you some of the comments if you haven't heard them, because I thought maybe you'd seen them. Let's see. Hold on. There's some really good ones. Wait, except for that guy, not that one. I'm not gonna read that one. Let's see. Happy for you.
Everyone's going to YouTube, guys.
Like the overall sentiment is that people have been reading your comic for so long, and they're just so excited. Seen your comics for years and years, and to see this, and to see finally someone reach out. Wait, what? And to see finally some reach out to this. Period. I'm happy. Very happy. And oh yeah, I see. That was I'm scrolling through all the ones that let's see. This one. Oh, bravo for not deciding to use AI on any part of the process. Rooting for you all. Yes, I first found the comic around a year ago and knew it was coming eventually. It seems like the groundwork is ready for the next viral online show. People are pumped on YouTube. They really are.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, and it's all these people that have been reading the comic for so long. Anyway, I won't go on and on about it, but I thought it was so cool that like we just put the pitch video on YouTube and people started watching it. Any other time I tried to just start a side YouTube channel, doesn't get any views. When's the theatrical release? Animus Enmity is asking from Instagram. I mean, that would be pretty cool. I think it's probably
actually, you didn't actually answer the when it will be up on YouTube, which is we're shooting for September next year, because we have got to make it.
Yeah, you're right. I totally missed the main point of that question, which is when will it be ready? Sorry, you guys. Yeah, we're giving ourselves like a year basically to make it and have it totally ready to go. And yeah, and I think that we went over the schedule a lot of times. It seems like it should be reasonable. So yeah, it'll be up in a year. And we'll be, updating everyone along the way about it. So
I'll probably, unlock those comic dubs as well. So we'll be getting stuff going out hopefully before the pilot.
Yes, definitely. We'll be doing comic dubs. That was one of our stretch goals. And so we're going to work with the actors from the pilot and put out a bunch of comic dubs on the YouTube channel. And I'm sure people are gonna love those. There's a lot of people on YouTube that came to the pitch video having seen like unauthorized Litterbox comic dubs.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Yeah, they're like, I watched your dubs for years. I'm so excited about this. So it'll be nice to have some.
I'd go and take them down, but then like I'd lose. That's where all my kids' friends see them. So it's like, hey, I'm cool, Mum. Yeah, I'm on YouTube.
Okay, let's see. Green Pegasus 2000 from Instagram asks, is the cat family based on what goes on in your life, Chesca?
Pretty much. All the characters are very much based on our characters. My husband, me, and my two sons. But they're kind of, if I post a comic and it's something that actually happened, I'll say this is a word for word conversation, or this is there's kind of like some that are word for word where I'll just change the names and it's just straight what happened. That's normally my husband and the kids together, because he gets the craziest conversations out of them. And then sometimes it will be like, I don't know, two things that have happened that are kind of stick together because like they connected and they're funnier as a single comic, and then other times it will be like something happened, but then how can we like up the funny on this, and you just kind of figure out how to make it as funny as possible. And then other things are just like I've started trying to write more where it's just actually just, hey, this is an idea, I'm just going to write for these characters that are based on my family and how they would react to certain situations. So that's sort of getting quite fun now, actually trying to do that. And then some things are just like weird shit my cats do, and then I'm like, how would that work if they were people?
Do you have any like ridiculous things where like a family member sees a comic and assumes it actually happened in your house, and you're mortified that they would think that so it's completely made up?
I guess not so much family members. I do get a bit worried sometimes of like, you know, what I'm broadcasting out. And it's like, oh God, what do they think? Because quite a few things that Fran does are like, I didn't necessarily do. It's more like,
yeah, exactly.
like there's one where she's like Vincent comes up with a crazy Halloween costume and she's just kind of like, yeah, and then she has to make it, and then she's there like sewing. But I'm not that nice. Like, I didn't do that. I just thought, God, imagine if I did that.
No.
Yeah, I was like, oh, no, I'm not doing that. You can tell because in that comic, my mum pointed out the sewing machine's round the wrong way. like, oops, I'm just showing that I'm not that nice. But yeah, other times.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, other time, you know, that's more like she was doing something nice, but there's other times where she's like doing something not so nice, and I'm like, oh, I didn't actually. I just thought about doing that. I didn't actually do it. But
yeah, like the
sort
parents
of
giving you a side eye
it.
when you're picking your kids up at school.
Yeah.
Do you? I with my daughter, we will like write down funny things that she says, and it got to a point where she was like, she'd say something and then be like, "Did you write that down in the list of funny things I said?" It's like, are your kids tuned in to the fact that you like use real life as inspiration for the comic, and are they ever like? I'm just wondering if in your household there's ever any moments of like, that's
you're going to use this, aren't you?
Yeah. Does that ever happen to you?
That does definitely happen. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and then sometimes they'll try and they've started trying to, so they'll just come up with something funny just without really thinking about it. Especially my oldest, he's just funny without realizing he's being funny. And then I'll be like, "Oh, that's good. I'll make a comic about that." And then they try and like workshop it. And then it's like, try and like, oh, and then this could happen. It's like, well, I don't know. That's not very good.
Yeah.
But they're trying.
Oh, that's funny.
That was my first thought when you said, "Did you write that down?" Like, well, no, it wasn't funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, writing it
down. Let's see. Harold Burton from Twitter asks, "Will there be characters exclusive to the pilot that haven't shown up in the comics?"
Good question.
I would say yes. Some of the side characters haven't shown up. The family's obviously all there.
We mainly wanted to make this one about the family, didn't we? So to just kind of, my first idea was a lot crazier, and they went to lots of other places, and lots of other things happened. But Ross was like, "Oh, just calm down."
Thanks, Ross.
That's a lot of voice actors. It's like, okay, yeah, you're right.
I just see the budget. I'm like, oh
yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, that would have been ugly. Still later, we can make some more money. Hey, Brien. I'll tell you about that one later. But yeah, so the main focus is sort of on the family, but there's definitely extra characters that come in. They're probably not going to be reoccurring characters, but there's a couple of characters in particular that I think are going to shine.
And there'll be certainly some guest stars from some special backers.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah, the Meow tier gets you a animated cameo where basically that's our top tier, and you send us a photograph of you or your friends or family, and we'll give you a little cameo in the pilot. Obviously, to fit into what's going on in the pilot, but yeah, that would be it. You're
swing by a rope and
immortalized. Yeah, immortalized forever in the Litterbox pilot. Yeah. Let's see. Here's one I've seen in comments before, a number of times actually. Chris Bush on Facebook asks, who is the target audience going to be? Is the pilot geared as a children's program or more like Simpsons-esque adult humor?
I don't know if I describe Simpsons as adult humor. It's more
Yeah, I
family humor,
wouldn't.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So, classic sort of Simpsons, everyone can watch it. But, there's going to be bits there where the parents are having a chuckle and the kids like, what? Or hopefully they don't even notice. But the idea is, I guess, to move so fast that they kind of like, we're on to the next thing and the parents have had their chuckle and the kids missed it.
I would love it if it could be something, and I feel like we've talked about this and kind of are on the same page, like something that you could watch, the whole family could watch and enjoy, which nobody really does that anymore.
Yeah, no, there's a big gap these days. I felt like as soon as Adult Swim came along and they were like, oh, we can make animation naughty, then suddenly everyone just went and was like, okay, this is now adult animation and this is kid animation, and there's this big gap in the middle where just no one's doing anything. It's like, where's the middle ground here where everyone's just kind of like, that's cool, we'll watch it together.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we're bringing it back.
Bringing it back.
And the voice actors. Will there be an indie crossover from It's Mr. 2000 on Instagram? This is not something we've not planned an indie crossover. That's a cool idea though. I love that sort of thing.
I always love Easter eggs and crossovers and everything. That's fantastic. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like we need to get bigger before we get to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, one day having like Bluey in there or something, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? They'd have to put some clothes on though. It'd have to be decent.
They can't run around nude.
Fallen Clovers on Instagram is wondering, are we going to go the indie route? Is this going to be a pilot for a YouTube series, or will you guys try to get it picked up by a network?
I'm a bit scared of networks. They're not nice to animation these days. So I'd rather stick indie if we can, I don't know, make it work. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, we definitely want to stay true to the comic. That's number one. I hate the idea of like a terrible season of Litterbox animated episodes and then it's canceled and that's it. Like there's nothing.
Or it's not even shown.
Yeah, or even a good season and then it's cancelled. They do that too. And then you don't get to. Then you're like, well, can I go and do some more of it myself? And they're like, nope. It's like, I guess, yeah. Hearing what happened to the Final Space chap, I was just like, oh god, that sounds awful.
Yeah, we don't want any of that stuff to happen. And I mean, if we could have it, it's even though will it always be on YouTube? Like maybe it'll be on other platforms in the future. Maybe someday, Netflix is going to be like begging us to put all these fabulous Litterbox episodes that we've made on Netflix, and we'll say, oh, maybe we'll consider it. But yeah, just that we don't want to blow it up and have a studio just make a zillion episodes of it really fast, and then they're not good, and it's I don't know. There's just so many ways that can go wrong, I think. I don't know. We just kind of want to do it our way.
Sure.
How old are Vincent and Cooper supposed to be in the comic? Book Butterfly from Instagram wants to know.
I think I decided, because it's difficult because my kids have been growing. I think my youngest was like 2 when I started it, and he's like 7 now. So yeah, I think originally Cooper was a bit younger. He was more of a baby, but then my youngest started talking and he was really funny. And I was like, God, I can't leave this. This is gold. I can't just not have him talking. So I squeaked his age up a little bit. So he's sort of a toddler, and then I started using flashbacks to Vincent as a baby to fill the baby role, and then Cooper's the toddler role. But I mean, sometimes he says things that are obviously a little bit more than toddler, but I don't know, any inconsistencies I just put down to the fact they're cats. Cats, they age weird. But yeah, I think I had to put an actual figure on it when I did the book because I did little bios. So I think I said Cooper was 3 and Vincent is 6. So that's the official ages. But I mean, Vincent acts a lot older than he is. My oldest has always done that anyway. And it kind of makes it funnier, like littler kids saying like older kid stuff. But that's officially their ages. But yeah, if it sounds a bit weird, it's because they're cats.
Do you remember? No, go ahead.
I'm just imagining like them as teenagers, and you're sitting there in front of them with a notepad, like, "Come on, I need material for this 3-year-old."
I know. I do sort of want,
you age out of the material.
Yeah, exactly. It's getting that way because it started being that stuff that my youngest is doing is ending up being stuff that Vincent's doing because he's actually Vincent's age now. But yeah, like people have asked me if I'm going to age them up, and they're just so iconic. Because I don't really want to lose Cooper's little chubby shape. He's just so cute. He wouldn't be nearly as cute if he was just, they'd both end up being the same. I don't know. Maybe one day, like I might do the sort of jumping around the timeline thing, like Pet Foolery does. So I could do that maybe, but I don't know. I worry that once they hit teenage years, they might be a bit like, "Mom, don't put that in a comic," and then I'll be like, "Damn it, I've got nothing." So it might be easier to just keep them where they are and just start writing them myself and just imagining because I know them so well. I'd say, okay, yeah, he'd do this, he'd do that, then he'd say that. Hilarious.
I remember when we started working, like when we first started talking about the pilot and the script, we were kind of like bouncing ideas back and forth. And it was over the course of like a year or two. And I remember a time where we like had a script and then there was a big time passing. And then you were like, also, like Cooper talks now. Like like he was like a baby. And then we were like, well, actually now he talks. He's older now.
That was from watching Bluey as well, because just seeing, what's Bluey's little sister called?
Bingo.
Okay, yeah, I was watching that and I was like, oh my God, she is great. I want Cooper to be more like that because that's just so funny having them being able to talk to each other rather than the sort of, Bart Maggie thing where he's just sort of looking at, looking and just making sucking noises. It's just Bluey and Bingo's fantastic together.
Yeah, that makes total sense. My family, we named our car Bluey before the show came out. We always called our car Bluey, and then the show came out, and it was so confusing to me because I just associated with Bluey with
my car
crossover car for so long, and then there's this famous character, the same name. Here's a connected question about Vincent and Cooper from Alexandru on Instagram. Well, it's actually a statement. Please get kid voice actors. They will sound weird with adults. Definitely for Cooper, we're getting a kid.
Yeah.
You can't. An adult can't really. It's really hard to do like a little kid voice.
Yeah. Yeah. He's so cute sounding. You have found one for him, and he's adorable. I can't wait to see him do that to D&D. That's people need to vote on that. When you get a chance to vote, I want the D&D one. Please do the D&D one because it's going to be adorable.
I know. I'm so excited to be able to announce the voice actors, but we really gotta. Fran is the main one, and we can't. I don't want to start announcing the other ones, and then people are just gonna be like, "Well, what about Fran? What about Fran? What about Fran?"
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was very good, and I mean, when it comes to Vincent, I feel like because he's sort of old, mature for his age in a way. He talks mature. I can totally see that working in more of a Bart Simpson treatment where you have an adult playing a kid's voice. At least that was how I kind of felt about it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's women that do amazing little boy
Mm-hmm.
voices.
Yeah. Bobby Hill.
Naruto, they're all great.
So there may be an adult for Vincent, but we assure you it will not sound weird. Oh, and somebody also about the voice is wondering if you, Chesca, and your husband are going to voice a voice Fran and Joel, the cat, and the husband and the mom and dad cats.
No, we already talked about getting professionals.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Maybe you should just start a family vlog. I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
Oh God, lots could possibly go wrong.
Everything.
Drunken Whaler on Instagram is asking how you have the patience and energy to deal with 2 kids. And then he continues saying, I hardly have the energy to deal with 1.
It depends on the kid. We got lucky because our first one was hard. He came out and he was an angry baby, colicky. I don't know what possessed me to try again, honestly, because he was a lot. But then second one came along and he was a lot easier, so that helped. And then I don't know, as they got older, it's sort of they're better at handling themselves a little bit more. I got so thrown in at the deep end with the first newborn phase that everything else has just been like, at least it's not that. At least I'm not there.
A Ghost House on Instagram is mentioning the D&D comic, saying poor Brien will have some fun animating that.
Oh, thanks.
Oh yeah, animate that one, Brien.
Well, the thing about comic dubs is they're not animated. They're
that's right.
So it was not going to be an issue for you. Did you guys ever have those things at the library that were like movies of kids' books, and it would just be like a camera panning over a kid's book?
This is from the 20s? What are you talking about?
No, am I the only one that checked? I watched tons of these. It was just like a kid's book and a narrator, and it would be not animation. It would just be the camera moving around the page. No? Oh, well, anyway.
No.
It's basically comic dubs. It's much easier than full animation.
That's funny.
Although if you want to animate it, Brien, that would be awesome. Pressure, lots of pressure.
Let's see. Northern friend from Instagram is wondering how do you feel about Peppa Pig?
Peppa Pig's fine.
I thought it was funny.
It's cute. I like how they're often just I don't know, end on a sort of they're just rolling around in the mud. It's
I really like the kid logic nature of the show.
Yeah.
It's not like an adult situation. It's just kid logic, and it's just simple and stupid and fun.
Yeah, it's cute.
Chesca, what are your most what are your most hated kids shows? Just out of curiosity, just thinking of Peppa Pig and thinking what which ones do you like the least?
Ross hates Peppa Pig, clearly.
No, I actually like Peppa Pig. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But my mind goes naturally to what you all dislike the most. I'm just curious.
Gosh, I don't know, because if I didn't like it, then I wouldn't put it on. So it's hard to. I mean, there's always Caillou or whatever it is, that one that everyone hates. I think we saw.
Oh, I never saw that one, but yeah, the little bald kid.
Yeah, Yeah, the little bald kid that's horrible. I think my kids put it on at some point, but they were old enough that they were just like, this is awful.
know better.
Like, this horrible kid. And I was like, oh yeah, everyone hates this one. And we tease the kids with, oh, is it that thing, the watermelon with the baby? What's that one? Cocomelon.
Cocomelon?
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, we tease them with that, and we just keep telling them that it's their favourite show and stuff. And they're like, oh no. We got them we got my oldest a Cocomelon pinata so that he could smash it up at his birthday. But my husband made sure to let all the other kids know that we got Cocomelon because he does not like Cocomelon.
That stuff is so weird. The Cocomelon stuff.
Yeah, it's such an unsettling feeling because everything's moving all the time at a pace. It almost feels like it's hypnotic. It's very bizarre. I don't like it.
I guess Blippi. I used to not like Blippi, but because
why don't you like Blippi? What's not to like about Blippi? Everybody loves Blippi.
I grew to love Blippi because I realized that there was much worse stuff out there.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
Because and then I was like, you know what, Blippi's all right. He's teaching kids stuff. That's cool. It's better than watching Brian's toy review, and then we had to sort of ban YouTube for after that because they'd just be wanting stuff to open.
Yeah,
it.
right.
And then they wouldn't want the stuff. It was just about opening the stuff. It's like, this is not good.
Yeah.
I'm sure his family and everything, I'm sure they're fine people, but my God, it was not good for my kids.
Yeah, it bums me out that all of that stuff just kind of then translated to Netflix, I don't know, Cocomelon, all those things. They're huge on Netflix. Those shows get a lot of, have a huge viewership, and it's just because they got on YouTube. And then kids know them, so it's like they want to watch what they know. But anyway, what are you going to do? Keith from Facebook is saying, I guess you don't take questions from Facebook.
What?
But... maybe we can prove him wrong by taking his question here. Have you thought about doing a Treehouse of Horror type skit?
Absolutely.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
That's those are famous episodes for being extremely hard on the production crew. It's like 3 separate stories with 3 different setups, and they're all usually generally fantasy, so they have to create new characters and backgrounds and everything. And those are some of my favorite episodes, but man, a lot of work.
Yeah, we're gonna need a bigger Kickstarter project for that one, you guys.
I love that.
Definitely, man. There's so much good stuff in those episodes, though. But yeah, that would be super fun. There's so much stuff that in the comic that I would love to do with those extreme lighting things you do and the expressions, the kind of single panel fantasy, things.
Oh yeah,
that'd be really fun.
It's fun getting the sort of anime, sort of that weird shadow that doesn't make sense on their forehead.
Yeah,
and stuff, things like that.
Yeah, I can hear the music cues and the drama. Ariane from Instagram, actually. Ari Lapointe, I think we've worked with you in the past on Pensamation. Hello. Asking how long the pilot is going to be. It's going to be 10 minutes, or roughly 10 minutes, approximately. That was sort of the length that we felt like we could tell the story that we came up with in the script, and also could wouldn't be an unreasonable goal on Kickstarter. And but I'm blown away that we just smashed through our goal so fast. I really didn't. I mean, I did not expect it to go so quickly. Actually that was sort of the part of the inspiration for doing live streams. Is it was fun to so fast on Kickstarter, and then the 3 of us are communicating on Discord, just chatting, and it's did it happen? Is this any of this actually happening? And then we're maybe we should, go live and talk about it. And at least for me, after when we did the Twitter Spaces thing, I came away from that being oh yeah, actually, this is actually happening in real life.
Yeah, it's so much more real.
Harold from Twitter is asking, what do you think of the cartoon Arthur?
I haven't seen much Arthur.
I've
That's the
never
one with
really
the sort
seen
of
it.
mouse thing. I know the meme
Yeah,
with the fist.
the fist. Yeah, that's the first that comes to mind is the fist.
I don't know if I've actually watched it. I just know that meme.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You
Boring
guys
answer.
never watched it? I watched Arthur before.
Oh, you watched it?
Oh yeah, I
With
mean,
with your kids or by yourself?
I mean, when I was a kid, I watched
Oh.
Arthur from time to time. It was not my favorite. I mean, this question's probably for Chesca. They probably don't want to know what the producer.
Yeah, I don't
thinks
hear
about
you,
it.
Ross.
I put it in the Doug. I put it in the Doug category personally. I'm not
Oh,
a Doug
really?
man. Yeah,
I like Doug okay. I mean, it was my favorite, but it was.
well, that's what
I'd
everybody
say.
says about Doug.
Yeah, I know. Doug's not my favorite, but I'll watch
I
it.
mean,
I don't think I really
yeah,
watched
and
much
He
Doug
like drew
either.
comics in the show, so it was like I drew
Yeah.
comics.
Yeah,
I didn't wear a belt on my head, but
See, I had
So I
slightly
guess-
different stuff with English TV, so I don't know if we got Arthur. I
Did
don't
you
know
have
if that really
Duke?
Came over. Had Doug. I didn't really watch much. I didn't really watch a lot of things that had people in. I've always just never really. It was always like, oh, if someone turns into a dog, I'll watch that. And so I don't know what it is. I never really connected that well with people. I just always wanted it had to be monsters or some creatures or animals, and then I was like, I'm all in. I didn't watch Star Wars until I was like pretty old. I think I was like 16 or something before I saw Star Wars because it would come on at Christmas and it'd be like Jawa's palace and there'd be all the monsters and I'd be like, yeah, this is great. And then they'd leave and there'd be
and
humans
stinky
again.
old Han Solo comes up. You're like,
Yeah,
who the hell
just
is this?
like, this is boring. I just wouldn't keep. I don't know what it is. I'm a bit weird.
what cartoons, what shows did you watch like as a kid?
I mean, the one that springs to mind that I love that no one else knows was this one called Dreamstone, which was a very weird show. It's always one, when someone does this
Dreamstone?
the Dreamstone. Yeah, it was a very odd show, and it's one of those ones where someone does those tweets where it's like, "What's a show that you remember that no one else does?" And
Yeah.
I'm like, it's Dreamstone. But yeah, I don't think that really escaped. I wouldn't have thought that got to America. Other shows that I
Whoa,
watched.
this is
Interesting.
blowing my
Is
mind.
it like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of thing?
It was like a
Is it
world,
like a
and then
dragon or a
it was
wizard?
like a fantasy world. Half the world was like the the land of nightmares. Half the world was the land of dreams.
Oh, okay.
And there was some dream stone, I think, that was in the land of dreams that the bad guys from the nightmare world kept trying to steal. And if they got it, then everyone would get nightmares. And yeah, you would love the animation. There was some insane anime. They had this like weird it was like a mad scientist and he was just like whoever was animating that was insane because it was literally like there'd be freeze frames of just all these eyeballs coming. He was just mad. Like I'd go and like I'd pause it because you just couldn't actually see what was happening with him. He was I don't know who someone crazy was animating him. You have to look him up. But yeah, it was really weird show. And there was like a fish that was also a dog.
Yeah, that's the first thing that popped up. I saw this old man with a beard and then a fish with a dog head.
Yeah, but I didn't like the good guys. I like the bad guys. The good guys sucked. I
Oh.
wanted the bad guys to win.
You wanted the nightmare to rule the world.
Yeah, the bad guys were cool.
That's a crazy show. Yeah, Arthur's an aardvark. Swords Comic Matthew is clarifying that he's an aardvark. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's totally an aardvark.
You got the nose? I don't know.
Well, aardvarks are kind of like they don't have a lot of iconic.
Isn't the
features.
first? It's based on a book, isn't it? And doesn't he look completely different, like in the first design?
How does it?
Based on a book?
He looks like an aardvark. He has a long snout, I think, like a pointed nose.
I can only. Oh yeah, I'll have to look this up later.
Do some Arthur research.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some offline Arthur research here because otherwise I'm just gonna be scrolling. I'm filling up books here, but they're all like, oh my god, whoa, he looks like salad fingers. Terrifying! Oh my god. I mean, maybe this is the wrong one, but whoa, yeah, he does. He looks like much more like an aardvark here.
Yeah,
and he has all these like bumpy hairlines all over his face. Whoa, and like really like sort of yeah, he's wow, interesting. Yeah, they watered him down in the PBS animation. I'm gonna say. Let's see. Some of these comments I'm having a hard time reading. Jake Marty from Instagram is saying he likes to draw illustration on his whiteboard, but his hands get really shaky. Any tips for shaky hands?
I guess if your hand is if you're holding the pencil the pen, without any anchor, because if you're drawing on a whiteboard, is it on the wall? I'm just imagining someone drawing on a whiteboard, and it's harder to draw with your hand, like just kind of floating in space.
Yeah, put the whiteboard on the table, maybe.
Yeah.
Lean into it.
Yeah,
I've never been.
And draw with your arm helps you control better than with your wrist. That's what you learn in like life drawing classes and animation classes.
Were you guys always into drawing, like, as kids and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was always like the cartoonist at school.
Yep. Yeah, I have boxes of old drawings and comics that I've saved. And,
so I was thinking of actually starting to post some of them. I dug out some from my parents' house.
I saw your parrot thing.
Yeah, I saw that.
You saw the parrots?
Yeah, that was great.
I love that parrots book. Because I must have drawn it when I think I was about 5 or 6 or something. And then I found it when I was a teenager and found it hilarious and then lost it again. But so it was always stuck with me. There's this parrots, this lore of the parrots book. And then when I went to my parents' house over the summer, I found it and I texted Jay and I was like, I found it! I found the parrot book! He was like, oh my god! So yeah, I've been excited about releasing that on Twitter. But I've got some other comics where it was more, I think I was old, I guess I was 11 or something, where I was basically just I was a huge Garfield fan, so I was sort of ripping off Garfield, but they were all dinosaurs. Yeah. It was kind of like Orson's Farm? Was that the...
Yeah, I didn't like that part of the show.
No, but I did. But you know how there's the egg with the legs?
Yeah.
So I did it was dinosaurs, and one of them was a dinosaur egg, a colorful dinosaur egg with little dinosaur feet. It's totally funny. Ripping off their character.
Yeah, I did that a lot too. When I was looking through my old sketchbooks and drawings, whenever I was watching at that time, I would create my own version of it, watching Rocco's Modern Life, and I'd create my own little version of their little house and the characters, and playing Crash Bandicoot or something, and created my own little Crash Bandicoot type character,
Nice.
With boots and shorts. And
I used to like doing that with designing my own games, but you couldn't make games back then. We didn't have all the modern fangled scratch stuff they do now. But so I do the just the little what's it called? The manuals. I design my own manuals for games. I design a game and make the manual.
Yeah, I did that kind of thing too. I would make that. I would do games levels.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were gonna. That's what I thought you were gonna say. You draw a Mario layout with spikes and stuff.
That's what I remember doing that.
Yeah.
I had a whole notebook. And
when I was a kid, oh sorry, go ahead.
I just remember having this notebook I was so proud to have filled, but it was Mario levels. So I just draw a line on the bottom and a spiky block, and I'd be okay, that level's done. Felt like I had created this huge tome, 1,000 levels, blown away that I filled this whole book.
That's funny. Yeah, I remember as a kid, probably around 4th grade or 5th grade or something. Me and my friend were making a bunch of drawings of our characters, and someone's mom said, if you design toys for these characters and send them, they'll make those sometimes. You just have to send them to companies.
Oh wow!
And we're like, whoa, cool. So we drew all these pictures of our characters as toys, and I'm thinking back to us that's kind of mean. They would never do that. Get our hopes up.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Manga Woman Doll over from Instagram is asking, they always say, write what you know. Does that work?
Yeah, I mean that was kind of what changed, like where it all came from for me, with the changing from the Daniel Tiger parody, and then my husband was like, "Write what you know," and so it became more our family. And yeah, I definitely got a lot more. You know, if I'd had to stick with the Daniel Tiger characters, which I don't know so well, but you know, our family, it's like, oh yeah, I can write for Vincent, and I know him so well, and the faces he pulls, because he pulls them at me. So yeah, definitely that works for me.
I feel like 90% of your comics have happened in my household as well, and I feel like that's what's one of the strengths about them, that like they feel so universal. They're based on these experiences that you've had and are so relatable.
I get a lot of people asking if I got cameras in their houses. It's always funny that so many people think that.
That's funny. All right. Well, that's pretty much all the questions that we've gotten. And we spent a pretty good amount of time on my first failed stream trying to get that to work, and with my crappy connection. So maybe we can bring it to a close, unless you guys want to, make up some other questions, or just come up with some weird stuff to talk about forever.
I don't know. I'm getting a bit hungry, so there is that.
Time for a midnight snack. Well, I guess you're an hour earlier than me.
Oh yeah.
So okay, well, everybody, we're running a Kickstarter, raising funds to make an animated pilot of Litterbox, and we've broken through our goal. We're super duper excited, and we're just gonna keep going, and we're gonna put it all into making just the best pilot ever. We're really excited. We're so thankful to you guys. Thank you all for listening to the stream, and hopefully we can do it again. I hope Chesca and Brien, I was so, the Spaces was so cool. I was like, oh my God, this is so much fun. I got like super excited about streaming and did all this research, and then like, I bit off more than I could chew at first.
And then you tripped at the finish line.
I tripped and fell on my face. But thanks so much to Kat, who's running this stream behind the scenes, and it's crystal clear. It's worked out great. So
now we got it. Well, this is fun. I'd like to do this more.
Yeah. Well, super. Me too. So, well, you guys have a good night, and yeah, we'll do it again sometime soon.
Cool. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. It's been great.